Ladies and gentlemen, there is more news about the Chicago Bulls and its frustrations with everything that's going on. Yes, we talk about the positivity of new management. We talk about the positivity of having all these changes finally happening to our team and not everybody else's. However, we've had growing concerns about recent rumors that have been coming around from the Chicago Bulls, and this one right here is just another one to add to the board. What is it? Let's find out right now. Let's do it. What's up, everybody? It's the Aidan Sports Show. Welcome back to another video. This is going to be a Chicago Bulls news update video. We've seen some rumors over the past few hours that is very damaging towards the Chicago Bulls and shows major concerns to where the future of this Bulls team is directed. And there are multiple reasons behind why this has happened. So before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Aidan Sports Show YouTube channel. Turn notifications on. The goal is 80 subscribers. Let me know in the comments below, do you think that there is a concern in the management of the Bulls since it's being overchanged, since everything has happened, since new managers have come in, from Torres to Eversley? We've had players like Larry Marketing stating that he wanted change, and now the change might not be the change that he wanted. There's a lot of things that could potentially be the reason behind the frustration of the players, which seems to be very concerning, because at the moment it's kind of players versus management. It's players versus coach. It's players versus the entire organization at the moment. It seems like the Chicago Bulls have continued to have an instability within their franchise in order to get both parties joining together as a team, as a community, and as a foundation to keep on winning games. We seem to be lacking that sort of ambition from our team, and we don't know why. So the news is, for anybody that hasn't seen it already, there was an anonymous Bulls player who that means basically we don't know who it is, has said that there's growing concern that the Bulls management is not listening to all of the Bulls players that are speaking out. So what does that mean for the Chicago Bulls? Now, it wouldn't be as concerning if this player just said his opinion or his say, but he said, and he targeted specifically all of the Bulls players. All of the Bulls players have not been listened to by the management. Now that's pretty concerning, because in the end, the players are the foundation. The players is the one that goes and performs and produces. The players are the one that takes you to the championships, and the players are the ones that make you go from first to last seed, depending on how well the players are doing. But it's not just all them. And they are the things that we are focusing on here, because we talk about our players as the future of the NBA. We talk about Larry Marketing, the future. We talk about Wendell Carter, the future. We talk about Kobe White, the future. We talk about Zach Lavine, the future. All these players are considered the future of the NBA. So why is it that all of a sudden, out of everything that's going on, these players are not happy with our management? Now, our management has just recently joined. If you guys didn't know, Torres just came in within a few months ago, and Mark Eversley came in a few months ago. Then all of a sudden, we've made all these changes, positive changes as well. Adding more development coaches is probably one of the best decisions I've ever seen us make as a franchise. I truly believe that 100% in my heart, that is a big step towards the Chicago Bulls' future. Having players develop into the stars that they're supposed to be, and we need to help them get there. That is a very crucial thing in my opinion. But there needs to be more than that. Why are they not listening to the Chicago Bulls players? Well, here's what I think about it. Let me know if you guys agree with my opinion. This comes down to three things for me. One, the Bulls players are asking for something that's completely impossible to get. Maybe that could be multiple raises. Maybe that could be getting rid of some certain people within the ownership structure, or whatever the case may be. Whatever they're asking for, the management just can't seem to get. So maybe the players are just asking for way too much. That's the first thing that I think could potentially be happening here. The second thing is, that anonymous player is absolutely right, and no matter what they ask, the Bulls are just not going to accept it. The management is not going to accept it. So in this case, it's firing Jim Boylen. If the Bulls players are asking to fire Jim Boylen, the management are just not accepting it. They don't want to fire Jim Boylen, and that causes a drift between the management and the players. Both of those are very damaging to my opinion. Having players not satisfied and management not being able to either being able to listen to what they say, or just completely ignoring it whatsoever, those things are damaging, because no matter whose fault it is, there's a clear drift there that we need to get sorted before next season. Otherwise, expect a much worse season than this season if we cannot get our team chemistry, our team fight, and our management and team together. And this has been a problem for so many years, but it seems like it's getting worse with new management, and that is not what you want to see when you have people taking over with the likes and great potential that a Taurus does have. You've seen it with the Denver Nuggets, man. They're currently third in their West, could potentially be second in the West by the end of it, and they're a great team, and that is what our Taurus brings to us. So we need to make sure that everybody's on the same page here, and it just doesn't seem to be happening. And the last thing that I want to talk about, which for me is going to be the biggest problem if it is, I heard this on social media, so whoever did say this, if you are watching this video, you deserve a pat on the back, because I think this one is probably the most spot on. I think the management wants the same things as what the Bulls players want, but the owners above them are refusing to do it. Let me give you an example here. Every player has basically, from Zach Lavine to Larry Markkinen, Wendell Carter, Daniel Gafford, these players have spoken out about Jim Boylen. These players have spoken out about how Jim Boylen is not the greatest coach. And I bet you behind the scenes, these players have asked for Jim Boylen to get released. However, the management probably wants the same thing. We've seen at the very beginning that the management were not willing to give Jim Boylen a second chance. To Jim Boylen might not be safe. To Jim Boylen is this. To Jim Boylen's out by the end of the month. To now, Jim Boylen is very, very likely to stay. Jim Boylen's going to be given a second chance. Jim Boylen is going to be the future head coach of the Chicago Bulls next season. Through all of this, that's the big change here. It went from Jim Boylen is fired to Jim Boylen is staying. Why is that? I think the management probably want Jim Boylen to leave, because I'm sure they're looking for another coach. Now, this could be because there is no other coach available that the Chicago Bulls are interested in, which in my opinion, isn't Mark Jackson available? Like, there are so many coaches that have experience and would probably do a lot better at the job, even if they're not the perfect coach, than what Jim Boylen offers. No disrespect to Jim Boylen intended, but as a fan, I have the right to feel these type of emotions towards the coach when I don't feel like they've done a good job. And Jim Boylen, in my opinion, has not done a good job. So why is he getting that second chance? He's had nearly a year and a half in the coaching table, on the coaching staff, and we've not seen, if anything, we've seen a massive decrease in the way that we play. Yes, we have better players, so the wins will probably come more often, but the way that we played has been so poor considered to Fred Hoiberg that it's not even comparable to match the two. I would take Fred Hoiberg in a heartbeat over Jim Boylen. And I know I'm probably thinking that because I don't remember the experience under Jim Boylen. But what I do remember under Jim Boylen is that we got the best out of Larry Markkinen. We got the best out of our players. We played fast. Yes, defensively we were crap. We're crap now defensively. If anything, we were a better offensive team under Fred Hoiberg. So the question is here, is the owner stopping this? Is the owner stopping Jim Boylen from being fired? Because that's the only thing that I could possibly see the players having a problem with, the management having a problem with, and both of them cannot seem to get the right answer. And the answer is the owners. And that is the thing that I want to talk about. So we talk about the Reinsdorf era with ups and downs. Obviously, with Michael Jordan, it was the highest of highs, but there were issues from then, and there are issues now. And I think every fan under this section would probably say, under the comment section of the post that I saw under Bleacher Report, everything is basically saying that the Reinsdorfs are very cheap owners. And look, cheap or not, you have to do what's best for the Chicago Bulls. And Jim Boylen, I'm sorry, is not the best solution for the Chicago Bulls. And what's happening now is that we are declining the potential firing of Jim Boylen, and that is unsettling everything that's been happening. Now, I think the management could probably handle this better than the players, but the players are the ones that are probably more important to keep happy at the moment, and they are not getting kept happy. We've seen Zach Lavine talking about the LA Lakers, man. Zach Lavine saying he wants to go to LA. Why is that happening? There's clear disgruntledness within our team, within our players. If Zach Lavine leaves the Chicago Bulls, and it looks more like the guy's just talking about where he wants to go now, so you never know that something like that can happen. we need to find a reason why things like this are happening. Now, the Lakers, if Zach Lavine goes to the Lakers, I am officially done with the NBA. Like, to be honest, what the hell are the Lakers going to give us that would make us trade Zach Lavine to the Lakers? And the answer is, I don't think there's anybody besides LeBron and AD that I would want on that team, to be honest. I don't want Rajon Rondo back on the team. I don't want Avery Bradley. I don't want JaVale McGee. I don't want Dwight Howard. I don't want Caruso, Caldwell Pope. I don't want any Lakers players, to be honest. I feel like we may as well stay put with where we are. But look, if the owners are stopping this, then we are going to see more things like the players wanting to leave. We're going to see more of Larry Marketing talking about, oh, I would love to go play over there. Wink, wink, get me over there. Wendell Carter, he's already saying he doesn't want to commit long-term to the Bulls. It's something that he's not thinking about at the moment. He's going to let God decide. Well, at the moment, if God's deciding that Wendell's out of here, you know, that's the type of situation that we are in at the moment. We need to keep these players happy. These are the future. This team is the future. We have future, fantastic, world-class players. That's what we have in our belt at the moment. And granted, they don't perform. Granted, we have the right to argue when they do something badly or when they regress. But at the moment, what are we going to do to change that? Are we just going to trade the whole lot of them? Are the owners seriously that stubborn to keep Jim Boylen, to keep all of our, in order to trade all of our players and just keep Jim Boylen? I don't think so. In the end, if they're cheap and they don't want to get they want to get another coach in and sack Boylen, then, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a long time to wait because all of our players will not be happy. We're going to have a season next season of angry, frustration. The Bulls are going to get frustrated. The players, the fans, of course, the fans are already frustrated now. We've had positivity about the management. So now everybody's saying that the management is not listening to them. In my opinion, the answer is, what do the owners want? If the owners want to keep Jim Boylen, then expect these players to be unhappy. Hopefully, this whole situation doesn't have anything to do with Jim Boylen, by the way. But that's the only thing I can see that's keeping these players unhappy. Because if they've done dramatic changes, the Chicago Bulls, they've added a tourist, they've added a GM in Eversley, they've added new player development coaches, they've added all these scouts and all these things that have come along with the Chicago Bulls. They've changed so much. So why are the players still unhappy? And the answer is, I think it's Jim Boylen. I think that's the one outlier that fixes this entire solution, fixes the entire Chicago Bulls franchise, that puts everybody back on the same page. And that's Jim Boylen. That's the only way that I see this being a thing, man. I don't know what else could possibly happen to make the Bulls players unhappy. If there is something, please let me know. But in the end, I think, and this is the most ideal situation for me out of the three, I think the owners are stopping the management from firing Jim Boylen. And I think that the management are taking the blame for what the owners want, and that's what causes the drift between the players and the management. So I hope if that's the case, then the owners get a grip quickly, because in the end, this is going to be a terrible season if we do not get everybody on the same page. You know, from the best of teams to the worst of teams. The teams that do the best are the teams from the owners to the players are joint in like this. Hands tight, the same goals, the same ambitions, the same work ethic. These are the teams that win the championships. We have not been near a championship for a very long time. Do you want to know why? Because our team is like this. Every year, it goes above and above. You've got the players and the management. They're just going further and further away from each other. And that is going to be something that's going to happen for a long time if we don't get a grip on this team. We've made necessary changes, but there are still changes that need to be made, and it needs to be done very quickly. If next season comes by, Jim Boylen's still the coach, we as fans can give him a second chance. I would give him a second chance, to be honest. I'm not saying that every other fan should. And to be honest, it's going to be one of those things where, yeah, I'd give him a second chance, but I definitely don't want him to be here. But players already know the system. If players are going to give him a second chance, then things are sorted. But if players don't want to give him a second chance, then we are going down a very dark path. It's as simple as that. I feel like I'm rambling, and I might just be rambling, but the message needs to get across. So hopefully the owners know what they're doing. Otherwise, this team is going to be in serious danger of just disbanding as quickly as possible. And that's the future, man. We cannot let these players who are so unsatisfied with this team to leave, or to ask for trades, or to just leave when their contract's up. we can't be that team, man. That just, yeah, we can start off in Chicago. It's all great. But once I want to get that contract, once I want to get a contract year, once my rookie contract is gone, so am I. We can't be that team. We need to keep our core together. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new to the Aidan Sports Show YouTube channel. Turn notifications on. Let me know in the comments below. Are you more upset about this news? This is more upsetting to me than any other news, from Zach Lavine's trade rumors to anything, man. Anything related to the Chicago Bulls. Like, the best news I've seen is Isaiah Thomas coming to the Bulls, and the worst piece of news is that the whole team doesn't like the management. So how do you expect me to react when you hear things like this come out? Anyway, have a wonderful day, guys. Hopefully your days is a lot more happier than what I'm seeing at the moment with the Bulls. Take care.